Welcome to the K plus J Living Podcast,
where we talk about designing a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the K plus J Living Podcast. I am Casey, and you are?
I am Jennifer.
Oh, which part are you of the K plus J?
The J.
Oh, such a stupid question.
Would you like to tell them how I have parameters on how you're allowed to introduce me?
No, that's a whole other podcast.
All right, fine.
For a whole other time.
Fine.
So hey everybody, this is episode number 4, and this week we had a question. Kind of the format of our podcast is we talk about home, we talk about health, and we talk about happiness, and then we end with a question that somebody had given us. And we had a question come in, and we decided we're going to start at the beginning of this week's podcast with the question and kind of dissect that and talk through it because it's a great question, and we're pretty excited about it. So what was the question, Jennifer?
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited about this. So we got an email from someone saying that they loved the episode that we did. It was like 2 episodes ago now, where we talked about health and kind of our health journey and, giving up sugar and what we eat and that sort of thing. And they just sent in this beautiful email and said...
It was very sweet.
Yeah, I loved it. I teared up when I read it. But they said that they really struggle with sugar too, and they're wondering what should they eat when they're on the go and when they go to restaurants.
Yeah. So
want me to answer that?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can kind of start, and I'll share what you share the restaurant piece, and we can each share kind of what we take in our lunches and blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Okay. So when we go out to eat, I have kind of some go-to meals that we can choose. So pretty much any restaurant you're going to be able to go to is going to have a burger with no bun, some sort of a chicken, or if you're not a burger person, you can get some chicken, some steamed vegetables, things like that. Those are going to be safe things. If you're really lucky, they're going to have some more exciting things that you can eat, but those are always, and of course, different kinds of salads.
What are the more exciting things you can eat?
Well, sometimes you go and you're like, oh my gosh, they have a whole interesting meal that I can eat and there's nothing weird in it. I just mean it's really exciting when I get to look at a menu and I can actually choose something off the menu and I don't have to be like, I want my burger with no bun and no fries, side salad instead. I have to kind of make it my own thing. So I get really excited when they actually have something on the menu that I can choose. So that's exciting.
Great.
So anyway, I do choose my burger with no bun, and then I trade out the French fries for a side salad. As far as dressings go, you're pretty safe with dairy, like ranch dressing. If you do dairy, I personally don't, so I usually choose a olive oil vinaigrette type thing. So
I choose ranch.
I know. So you're pretty safe with that. I always drink water. Those are kind of my go-to things. And then for eating on the go, for my day job, I'm actually in the car most of the day. I have a 90-mile radius that I drive. And so I just decided right away that I wasn't going to change my habits. And so I eat a giant salad every day and I take it with me in the car.
That comment that Jennifer just made of, I'm not going to change my habits, that sums up Jennifer. She is just has this resolve for sticking to something and eating healthy. And
what do they call that? Is that grit?
Crazy.
Does that count for grit?
I think it's grit. You have grit.
Stick-to-itedness?
Is that a word?
I think so.
Oh. Someone emailed me about cleanly.
Oh, they did?
The word I use. I use cleanly.
Is it a word?
It is a word.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd
But
they
they thought
say?
it was funny.
Oh.
I'm like, it's a word.
It's
Don't
just
doubt
not a
my
word.
vocabulary.
This is not a word I use.
So Jennifer has much more resolve and grit
Right.
than I do. That's why she's my health mentor.
So I decided when I started this job that I wasn't going to change my eating habits. And so on the go, I just take my giant salad with me. And when it's lunchtime, I kind of find a quiet spot and pull over and I eat my giant salad in the car. I
I
do.
picture like this big like hot tub that's like full of lettuce and
It's about how much I eat
That's
a
how
day.
big it is.
So for me personally, my goal is to eat 10 cups of vegetables every day. So you can picture what
no
my...
pun there. CUPS, not CUPPS, like our last
That
name.
was really funny.
So good.
You love a good pun.
Good dad joke.
So anyway, so I try to eat 10 cups of vegetables a day. That is my goal. I do not always hit it, but that is my goal.
I don't either.
What do you...
So let's just talk. So while she's laughing about me. So in my lunch, right now, I have roasted sunflower seeds. I have the P2.
Well, you're an on-the-go eater. You don't like to sit down and...
I don't like
if
to
you had
stop.
to sit and chew my salad, like, you would be
No,
bored, like,
I
a
would
minute
rather.
in, you'd be
So
done.
if I'm traveling or driving, like from one job to the next, I'll eat while I'm driving, or I'll take minimum like 10 minutes to sit down and eat, and then I'm back at it. And part of the reason, here's part of the reason. So it's not like I'm anti sit down and eat
No,
lunch.
you're just in go mode.
I'm in go mode, but also I pick up my kids in the afternoon. So Jennifer takes the kids in the morning, I pick up the kids in the afternoon. So in order to make the most of my day and get projects done.
Ain't nobody got time to eat.
No, exactly. So for the clients, it's easy. It's easier for me. Sometimes I'll snack when I'm waiting to pick up the kids from school.
I do get kind of tired of chewing my salad a little bit by the
Yeah,
end.
you know.
But I get my vegetables in.
There we go.
But if let's just say I, for whatever reason, didn't bring my salad, and I stop at a gas station, and let me tell you, I have never had a problem going into gas stations and being, like, tempted. I just go in, do what I'm supposed to be doing in there, and then I go. I don't know what it is. I have started this job, and I want everything in the gas station. Like, I walk in, and I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Like Slim Jims and donuts?
No, I don't want Slim Jims ever. I can't
think you've
even
ever eaten a Slim Jim in
fathom
your
wanting a
life.
Slim Jim. No, but I walk it like the Quick Star.
I think
See,
Slim
here's
Jims,
the thing.
I think Slim Jims, like if you look at this, everybody that's listening needs to see if I'm right on this. I'm pretty sure that on the ingredients of Slim Jim, which I don't eat either.
Slim
if,
and Jim?
If you like Slim Jim, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure it says mechanically separated meat.
Ew, no, I can't do that. Nope, sorry, Slim Jim. No, but like, okay, so now that I'm driving all the time, and of course I'm still drinking a lot of fluids, so
Yes,
I
lots
stop
of
at a lot of
restroom
gas.
breaks.
Yes. And so now I've
If you ever
gotten...
travel with Jennifer, you make like 1.2 miles. And then, so like when it says 35,
I'm nice
35
about
miles
it.
to the next rest stop, not
You
really.
just know you have to stop. So I have a hierarchy of restaurant or gas stations that I
stations that
like
you'll
to
go
stop
to.
at, and my favorite is Quick Star.
Quick Stars.
That is the best, and I go in there and I just
It's
want
like
to
a
like.
shrunken, it's like a
little
Honey,
grocery
I Shrunk the
store.
Grocery Store.
But they have like when it was cold out, they had a really nice tea bar. They had all sorts of yummy flavors that I could choose from.
Fantastic. So what do you get from there that's
Well,
healthy?
so I get the tea, and I bring my own sweetener. I use stevia packets, and so I would use that. So I'll eat that, and then they have like the P2 things that you can buy
Which
now.
I have, yep.
Yeah,
And
and
what are
so they're
those?
like little packets of like nuts and cheese and seeds.
Jerky.
Yeah, little beef jerky. Sometimes I will get beef jerky. You just want to be careful and look at the sugar content. Some of them are like teriyaki or whatever, and they have a lot of brown
a
sugar.
lot of the ones that just say original are
Yeah.
actually chocked full
Yep.
of sugar.
Right. So I do occasionally get those, but I have to be pretty desperate to eat that. And like I said, I don't eat a lot of dairy, but nuts, cashews, we keep cashews in the car,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
And
If you like boiled eggs, that's a good one. I like eggs. I'm just real fussy about.
I love boiled eggs, so
Yeah.
that's something
That's a
great.
good one for you. You
Another
like to
one
do
you could
that.
take and throw in your lunchbox is just an avocado.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Avocado's
I put
great.
that in my salad.
If you like fruit but want something that's low glycemic, which is low in sugar, berries are great. Strawberries, blueberries, things like that.
Yep,
So-
that's a good one.
Those are always really good. But like my lunchbox, I usually take a ham and cheese sandwich. Pretty much what I eat every day. I also have. Is it what is it?
Oh,
The
000 yogurt.
000
Yep.
yogurt.
It's sweetened with stevia, I
with
believe.
stevia, but it's low in sugar. I just tried the black cherry for the first
No
time.
sugar.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Yeah, because it's sweetened with stevia.
Yeah.
Okay. No sugar. 000.
Yeah, they're good.
But they're great. The black cherry is phenomenal. I also like the vanilla, and what I'll do with the vanilla is I just found a granola that is.
Yeah, we found a good one.
vanilla almond. It's Solo?
Yeah, I don't know.
Solo
It's
brand. I
kinda
don't
weird.
remember what it
Yeah.
is. But also, zero sugar? Is it right?
I have it right here. Would you like me
Yeah,
to
grab
look?
it. Grab it while we're looking here. So I want to make sure that people know what we're talking about. But the granola is phenomenal. And if you get the vanilla Sola. And if you're watching this, we're trying to record this. See that? Sola.
Backwards.
And what's it have on the back? So
2 grams of sugar
2 grams of sugar.
per
So we
1/3 cup. That's pretty amazing.
yeah. So we try to keep things below 6 grams of sugar.
But the trick with that is
is the serving
the
size.
serving size. So, like, sometimes we'll look at it and we'll be like, oh, 6 grams, that's pretty good. And then you look at the serving size and it's like a tablespoon.
Thimbleful.
So, yeah.
A thimbleful
So,
is 20 grams of
and
sugar.
that goes back to what we were talking about giving up the cereal because, okay, cool, we found a cereal that had 8 grams of sugar per serving.
But it's a third of a cup.
Yeah, and our kids are eating like 6 of those.
A normal bowl.
Yeah,
Right. So they
they
really
fill
end
it
up
to the top.
yeah. So we cut cereal out of our house. That's not really eating on the run.
We did get you some cereal. You were so desperate for it, but you
Yeah.
haven't even eaten it.
I haven't. So it's Uncle
Every
Sam.
time you look at it, you change
No,
your
I'm
mind.
going to eat it. It looks good. So I love the texture and the crunch of cereal.
So we got
but-
Uncle Sam's brand. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know,
so it's
we'll
in the
see.
health market
It's
at
like
Hy-Vee.
Ezekiel
If you're
brand
listening from
cereal.
another state or another country that doesn't have Hy-Vees,
It's probably
a
in
local
like the
grocery store.
healthy section.
Yeah, it's a healthy section, but
Yeah.
yeah. So on the go, it's good to have just a snack pack. If you are a grazer like me, how you just like to eat here and there and just always have something on you, it's good to have a snack pack. Have stuff in your car. We have, like in our van, we have cashews, a couple cans of cashews, and those are just great because they keep you from making
Bad choices.
when you're out on the run. So, also, like we just went the other night to on a date to the J Bar, which is connected to the Holiday Inn in Davenport, Iowa. I was wanting salmon and steamed vegetables. Yeah, I was craving salmon. The vegetables were not what I thought they were.
They're spicy. We're not
Yeah.
spicy people.
Yeah, but Jennifer ordered her burger with no bun.
Yeah, but
And-
then, I don't know. We've eaten there a lot, and this was the first time I actually had a hard time choosing something because
They changed their menu.
Yeah, they changed the menu, and so I did end up with a burger, but then my plan was to trade his vegetables for my fries, but then his vegetables were spicy and tomatoes,
Yes.
and I don't know. It didn't work out so well.
I love French fries.
I know you do.
They're so good. They're not good for me,
Nope.
but they're good. But it's all in moderation, folks.
Yeah.
You know, little by little. I don't eat French fries every day, but when I do, I eat a lot of them. So those are some things that we do to eat healthy on the run. So on the run, let's say we're getting up, we're getting ready for work, and we need to get out the door. Here's what my staple, my go-to, is 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast. One of them has peanut butter, just peanut butter, not a ton of jelly or anything like that, but peanut butter. Another one just is toast with some bread and eggs. That's a great way to start the day. It's fast. It's on the run. It only takes a couple seconds to make.
It's a great way to start the
For
day,
me.
depending on what your goals are. It's
Depending on what your goals are.
Very, very bad way for me to start the day.
And explain why, real briefly.
So, yeah, wheat, gluten is not my friend.
Yes.
That's not going to be low
So
glycemic.
here's what we mean by that. So for me, since I'm physically doing construction and building things and working, like my app on my phone.
And you already have a very high metabolism.
Right. So high metabolism coupled with I'm doing a lot of exercise in a day. In fact, I track that on my iPhone. So when I look at that, it's like you've had 22,000 steps and you've done, this. So I'm exercising basically all day by doing construction. So I'm burning through those calories that I would get from wheat. So
And you don't feel you don't feel great when you eat a lot of it, or kind of depending on what it is, but for the most part, it doesn't really affect you.
right. Yeah, but if it's like a Saturday night, we're going to Biaggi's or something like that, which they give you just free bread, and you load up on just tons of bread, it's horrible. But I feel totally bloated and gross,
yeah.
and that's about most. Besides my sandwich, that's about all the bread I'll eat a day. So,
Yeah.
So anyways, that's kind of the health. We're kind of doing things a little bit out of order. That's the health piece, and then we also have the that one question that someone had sent in. Thank you so much if you're listening for sending that question. They said, hey, you should talk about this. And we're like, hey, we'll do it on the next podcast. So that was just cool. But we want to talk to you about this home section. So for us, the home piece are some ways that we're telling our story in our home, but also other people telling their story with some of our clients and people that we have helped. So first off, this weekend, since it was so nice out, we found ferns on sale at our local grocery store. $10 a fern, and then we found one on
one
clearance.
Little sad straggler for $2.
For $2. So we bought all those. It needed some love. And so we put ferns out in front of our house, and it looks so cute. And we put ferns out because we'll kill them. If we put anything else out, we'll kill them because...
It took me a really long time to learn that maybe you should pay attention to the tags that come on flowers that say, these do best in full sun. Yeah, and we have a shady porch. And so I'd be like dragging my flowers out to the yard and putting them in the sun and watering them.
I'm so particular about my yard. To go drag plants out and set them out in the middle of the yard just about drove me up the wall. My OCD.
It looked really ridiculous.
I'm like, can you at least line them up so they all look like they're supposed to be there?
I'm sure our neighbors were like, what is wrong with her?
Yeah.
Just buy some ferns.
Doesn't she know? But our daughter Ellie has a major green thumb.
Yeah.
She's tons of plants in her room.
And she planted some succulents for us. They look so cute on the
very
porch.
cute
I'll
on
have
the
to
porch.
post a picture. It turned out really cute.
Very, very cute.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, so that was over the weekend. And then also on Saturday, we had the wonderful privilege of going to one of our clients' homes.
She emailed us and she said, hey, I see that you're doing this zero budget challenge. I would love to enter it, but I don't have time. She said, I'm having company come next weekend and I want to shock them. And so she was in a really unique situation, and yet one that I'm sure a lot of people have found themselves in similar situations. She inherited... So she lives in a house that belonged to a different family member, and she inherited furniture from her mom, her grandparents, and her aunt, plus everything that she had.
All in about
with
a three-bedroom
house. Yeah, and within a couple of years, I think. And so it was just like so much stuff to go through for her. And it's all important and special to her, and she loves the people that she got it from very much.
Yeah.
And
so everything has meaning.
But she wanted a space.
So she wanted us to come in and start working on her... sun
it's
porch,
like a sunroom.
Four-season
and she said, I just want a place for, when my daughter, brings her friends home, that they can have a place to hang out. And she said, right now, it's just full of all of these things. And so we were able to go over there and just kind of help her through and talk about, what things should she keep and what things is it okay to let go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really what it means to let go. Because for us... our job with the K plus J company, we don't want to go in and say, you need to get rid of this, and this, because what means something to us may not mean something to you, or vice versa. And it was amazing to me to watch and listen to the stories that she told.
She had so many stories, and it was an interesting situation because she was able to, everything that she touched, she knew, like, this used to be here, or they got this here, or this is from this. I mean, she had so many memories wrapped up in all of these things.
And she had so much love and respect for her loved ones, it was crippling to her to know what to let go of.
She felt like she was being disrespectful almost to let those things go.
So with that, one of the things that we encouraged her about is, we said, hey, what would bring the most value? Is the most value... or the most respect and love for your loved ones that have passed away? Is it more respectful to just have it collecting dust down in your basement where there's not space? Or is it going to be even more respectful that it finds a great home where someone loves that piece of furniture and cherishes that and moves that on? And that really clicked. That was one of those things that really clicked in her head.
Right, because, I was thinking about, I lost my grandma like 5 years ago, and, we had her whole entire house to go through, and of course, she had things from my great-grandma, and, she had a lifetime full of things, and in the meantime, all of her children and grandchildren have had their lifetime of putting their homes together. And I think the last thing that she would want is for us to be burdened with these things that, if she were here, she would say, they're just things. You know, they were things
Yeah.
that were important to me as I built my life with my husband and my family and my home. But we can't possibly be expected to take everything on. And, you know, you think of how fast the storage unit industry is growing. It's just crazy.
It
like every
is.
time you turn around, there's a
Yeah.
new storage unit.
We just had one built down the street. It is one of the it's a multi-billion-dollar industry
Right.
where people are housing stuff outside of their home because there's not space in their home.
And there's a time for when you might need
Correct,
temporary
yeah.
storage. But like if my grandma knew that I was spending money on a storage unit for her things after she was gone,
Yeah.
she would hate that. She
So-
would hate that.
Yeah, so just like speaking with our client this last weekend, we want to give you freedom to let go and to say, how can I use this end table or this hutch or this, that, or the other thing, whatever it is, the 40 Afghans that you have that from your whatever.
Can I say what my grandma called them? So my grandma was
This
from
is-
England. This is my great grandma. And she was from England. And so she would blame it that because she was from there, she would get
English.
her words mixed up. But really, I think she
I
just
don't
got her
know.
words mixed up. But she would call Afghans baby Africans.
Maybe African.
So she would say, if you get cold tonight, there's a baby African in the closet for you.
which like sounds like the most racist, horrible statement in the
didn't
world.
mean it
but
that
she
way,
didn't mean
but
it
she
like
just
that.
got the
It's
words
just
mixed up. She had lots of
Yes.
words like that, but
Yes.
that was one that to this day.
and a
if we
cozy
say-
little baby to snuggle with is about the best thing to snuggle with.
And
But
they
she
do keep
always,
you warm.
and they do keep you warm. But she always, that's one of our funny
little baby
stories.
African.
Yeah. So with that, I guess kind of coming down to this whole happiness piece of our podcast is, as Jennifer and I were talking about this topic, one of the things that we came upon is, of one, letting people we want you to be happy and be encouraged to let go of things in a way that adds value to other people. Some of the things you might do is maybe there's things that you cherish because of the memory behind it, but you don't want the stuff, is catalog those things. Take a bunch of pictures of those. Upload them to the MPix app if you don't know that, but upload them and get them printed so that you have those memories that don't take up the space. But in the midst of all that, Jennifer and I just started talking about dreaming and how one of the things that we've always done, that we got married really young, and by the grace of God, we've always encouraged each other to go for our dreams. And whether it's Jennifer's photography studio that she did, or businesses that I've ran or that we've ran together in the past, the adventure we're on now, to one of the greatest things you can do for your spouse is encourage their dreams and help them make it happen. And here's what I mean by making it happen. It doesn't mean that you should go into tons of debt, that you should tell them to quit their job, that there's what's called calculated risk and starting something small and trying things out. And that's kind of what we've always done, is we've kind of, had these little incubator things, and then it started getting traction, and then we build upon that so that you can grow in a healthy way while pursuing our dreams. And a lot of the times what we've done is we've worked our quote-unquote day job while building something that's in pursuit of what we're dreaming about.
Yeah, and for me, it was hard, when we decided to close my studio. It's been not quite 2 years since we made that
What was
decision
the
to
studio?
close the
What'd you do?
photography studio. You said that.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
But anyway, it was just kind of heartbreaking to go through that, and it was hard to continue to dream. Like it was too scary for me to dream. And Casey would kind of try to draw me out. What do you want to do? What do you wish you were doing? And what do you think
telling
about
you?
this?
Yeah.
What's God telling you? And it's just like, nope, nothing. I'm just gonna go, I don't know, work at Walmart. Like I just, I just had nothing in me. And so it's just been cool that, through this process that God has been able to show me that, I gave you these gifts and talents. They're not for nothing. And I'm going to renew how I'm using you in those ways. And so it's just been kind of.
Yeah. What's been interesting is both of us had this season of where one dream was what we appeared to be the door was closing. And for me, a dream opening, and it crashed and burned kind of in my face of what I thought was like this great dream. and the closing of Jennifer's dream and the crashing and burning of the pursuit of what I thought to be one of the biggest dreams for me brought us to this place to where God just blended even more. The Bible talks about that the two will become one flesh, that it's not just in so many ways that I think, the joke is that the older you get, the more you look like each other. But really, the older you get, the more your personalities blend and your life
really
is
gray,
blend.
though. You were just talking about how gray you are.
I know.
I'm really gray.
So bad.
Is that can I blame that on you then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Bible calls that a crown of wisdom.
But
Crown of glory.
Showed it yet.
But yeah, so now it's just neat to see the progress of here's the big thing. Is when you have dreams, we encourage you to take those dreams and hand them over to God and say, God, this is what we feel like you're saying to us, but we want to entrust them to you because you know what's best for our lives. And if you're not a person of faith, I encourage you to pray that prayer and to challenge, that belief and say, hey, if you're real, God, here's my dreams, and you'll see things happen in your life, and what appears sometimes to be the most painful experience of your life turns out it's almost like a prism or a kaleidoscope where you turn it and you see things differently. That's been the season that we've been in.
It was so weird at first. Like, we just felt like we were just in the twilight zone. And as we've come through it, God has just shown us so much. And, it was like the saddest thing ever for me. And yet, what I have gained out of that, I would, in a heartbeat, do it again.
Yeah,
I have gained some friendships that are absolutely worth everything that I did.
Fantastic.
Giving up what I did for 13 years for their friendships. Absolutely.
Yeah, and for me, it's just anchored me in a place of trust, in a place of not trying to make things happen. There's the part that we have in pursuing our dreams of, working on things, but also of just having this trust that I'm not in control, that I'm resting in what God has for my life. So, but back to that first point is, when was the last time you asked your spouse, what are you dreaming about? And how can I help you make that happen?
Or if you're not married, maybe it's a family member or a close friend, just be that, who's in your life that you're kind of accountable to. Yeah,
and if you maybe have dreams yourself, being able to talk to someone, or if you have friends, of how you can encourage them, because, living is giving, and the more we give of ourselves and give of our lives and create a life where we can say, how can I help you be successful? Whether it's those people around us, our spouse, our loved ones, our family members, that's really, at the end of the day, what adds the most value to our life, is to know that our life is not our own, and we can give our life away for the benefit of others. So there you go. That's it for this week. So, hey.
Send us your questions.
That was
really fun to actually get one.
Yeah, contact@kjliving.company. Shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Also, we'd love for you to hop on iTunes if you can and rate this podcast, because it helps it go up and it helps us reach more people because it has great ratings. And we want ratings and reviews that are genuine. We just had somebody put one on there that just loved what we're doing. It's very... very encouraging.
She said that she could hear our dog shaking.
Yeah, our dog she just shook her ears in the background. That it's just us. Sometimes they are. So anyways, also follow us on all the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Pinterest. We'd love to connect with you and hear your story. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.